Hey guys, welcome back to Gabe's Garage. Today we're gonna be installing this crankshaft into the block. So I want to show you how to do that and find the specs, oil clearances, end play, pretty much everything on how to install the crankshaft back into your LS engine. So I'm not gonna go much on cleaning your parts. You should already know these, but you should really clean very careful everything that you're gonna be touching: the block, your crankshaft, your bearings, your main caps. Everything has to be clean. Truly, it's one of the most important things. You have to clean it. But for today, we're gonna have a dial indicator, your main bearing. We got all the bolts that we need. So these bolts, I like the packaging. They came from Summit, but they are pretty much all factory bolts. The bearings, I got me some King bearings, which I have to show you these. So what I want to show you is the main bearings come in a plastic bag, all sealed. And so this was, I was supposed to be making this video before, but this is why you should be checking your parts. Check this out. This bearing, you can see right there, it came damaged, but luckily for me, I bought these bearings from Amazon, and luckily for me, the seller was actually, it has a very good communication. He sent me another set after I told him that one of the bearings was damaged. I already got it. So I normally don't do this, but shout out to JJC Martin Automotive in Nashville, because I bought these from him. So there's that. So I feel like one of the biggest confusion for most people is gonna be how do I put my bearings, like, because they have this thing right here, right? And they get confused because the caps for the crankshaft, the number 1 and the number 5 have two different ones. So they're like, do I put it on this side or do I put it on this side? So let me show you something. So when you go to number 5, you're only gonna have one on each. Doesn't matter which number, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Number 2, 3, and 4 will only have one thing, so you can put the bearing only one way, right? And when we do, let's do number 2 for example, so you have an idea. So this is number 2. We're gonna put that thing in there, and we're gonna push the bearing in. Just gonna make sure that it's flat. Okay, and then once the bearing is in there, then we're gonna put the top bearing, which in this side is gonna look like it's gonna be the bottom because the block is upside down, but I'll show you. So now that we have the top bearing, we're gonna put that tang. It only goes one way, right, which will be on this side. When we put it in, make sure that it's all the way in. The holes is gonna match with the oil gallery, but what I wanted to show you is that, so this is number 2. The ears on the main caps go 1, 2, 3, 4, but the ears look to the rear from the front of the engine, and then number 5 will be backwards. Number 5 will be, the ears will look to the front of the engine. So which number 2, since the ears have to look back, when you put them in, the tang is in the opposite side of it. So as long as you put these things to the opposite side, it doesn't really matter. So on this side you have to put it, and number 1 you're gonna have to put it here. So let's go to number 1. and here's number 1. If you happen to put it to the outside, you can, but this is what I will see here. Since the ears have to look to the inside and this thing is on this side, then you're gonna want to put the tang to the opposite side, which you have to be on this side, which it will be just like this. So now when the ears are looking to the rear, this thing is here and the one on the block is on the opposite side, so that will be correct. And that's how you're gonna put them. That's the correct order. Now your truss bearing, which is gonna be the weird looking one, is gonna go in the number 3 journal. Now for this part, we do not want to put any oil in the bearings, because what we want to do is that we want to plastic gauge to make sure that we have the right oil clearance. So we're gonna put it down very careful. And we do not want to rotate the crankshaft because there is no oil in it and you will scratch or damage them. There is no oil in it, and that's how it should be as of right now. So before we install the caps, we're gonna put, this is a plastic gauge, and this one go from 1,000 to 3,000 of an inch. I guess it all depends on the engine, but in this case, this is what I'm gonna be using for this engine. And what you want to do is you're gonna cut 5 different strips of it, and you're gonna put the little plastic that is inside of it. So this is what it comes inside. It's gonna be all just one line, and you're just gonna break it into 5 pieces because you got 5 caps to measure, and you don't want it too short, but you don't want it way longer either. You pretty much want it to be the same size of the cap, and you're gonna put it in there, and then you're gonna put the cap. And the number 5, the ears will look into that direction. So I'm gonna go over one more time because I feel like there's a lot of confusion when it comes to these. This is the front of the block. This is the number 1 cap, and you're gonna have all your numbers on one side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All these little ears is gonna look to the rear of the engine, except for number 5, which will be the last one. And this one, the ear is gonna look to the front of the engine, and you're gonna have the number 5 stamp on the other side. So now that we have the plastic gauge in between the caps, all the caps are in, all we have to do is put all the bolts and the studs, and we're gonna torque them. And after we torque them, which I'm gonna show you the torque sequence, we're gonna take the caps back out and measure the actual plastic gauge to make sure that the oil clearance is between specs. So the bolts go on the inside and the studs go on the outside. For this is gonna be a sequence. It's gonna be pretty much the same sequence on the first pass, which is gonna be 15 foot-pounds or 20 Newton meters. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now on the second pass for the inner bolts, we're gonna do 80 degrees. And on the final pass for the studs is gonna be 53 degrees. I think some people will disagree that the side bolts have to be torqued in order to get the oil clearances too, but I don't think that they will do anything aside from providing more support for the side to side on the crankshaft. But for the oil clearances, I don't really think you have to do the side bolts, torque them just to get the plastigage on. So now that everything is torqued, all we gotta do is take everything back out and we're gonna check the plastigage and make sure that it's on the standards. So they are supposed to be pretty much uniform, like all of them supposed to look very alike. And all we're going to do is, see this one, the plastigage, instead of standing on the crankshaft, stay on the cap. I'll show you over there. Here's the other one. And this one, it was almost like between the cap and the crankshaft. So this is one of the ones that it looked the best, so I'm gonna show you what you're supposed to do. The specs for these oil clearance for this car is gonna be 0.0008, which is a little bit less than 1/1000 of an inch, to 0.0021, which is like 2000, a little bit over 2000 of an inch. So what you wanna do is you wanna look at your gauge that came with your plastigage, and you look between 1000 of an inch to 2000 of an inch. You try to match that line right there. If I go to 3000, too small. If I go to 2000, pretty much match that, which that's great. That's what we want. And if we go to 1500, it's a little bit bigger than what it's supposed to be. So we are about 2000 of an inch, which that's exactly what we want. So I'm pretty happy because the oil clearance is correct. So now we're gonna take the crankshaft out. We are going to pretty much do the same thing, but we're gonna, if you're gonna use the engine right away, like you're gonna assemble it today and you're gonna be run this engine like in a few days, you can use engine oil. But if the engine is gonna sit for a little while, like me, then you're gonna need some assembly lube. And there is a difference. You can Google it, I'm not gonna go over it, but there is a difference. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna put some assembly lube on it. We're gonna put everything back together, torque it, and then we're gonna spin it. And after that, we're gonna check for end play. Ooh, I almost forgot. Take the plastigage. You're gonna have to clean that up. Clean the plastigage before you put assembly lube in it. If you're having a little bit of issues to putting the caps back in, you can always use the rubber mallet to tap it, and that will make life a little bit easier. For the last step, we're gonna put the 10 millimeters on the side of the caps. You want to torque each cap and move to the next cap, okay? Pretty much a sequence the same way, but they recommend you to use a gasket maker that is oil resistant. So, and we're gonna torque those to 18 foot-pounds. Alright y'all, so we are almost done. The last step is gonna be checking the end plate. I'm running out of sunlight, so let's try to do this quick. The one thing that we want to do is to set the dial indicator at the back of the crankshaft, and we're pretty much gonna push the crankshaft back and forth after we zero our dial indicator to see how much play does it have, because it's supposed to have a play. For this car, for this motor, the end play for what Pro Demand tells me is gonna be 0.0015 of an inch, so 1/1500 of an inch to 0.0078, so almost 8,000 of an inch. So between 2,000 and 8,000 of an inch, that's a good range. So we're gonna check it now. So we got our dial indicator already set. So now I'm gonna have to put the camera down so I can hold the block and push the crankshaft back and forth and see how much play does it have. So I pretty much push the crankshaft back and forth, put my dial indicator and zero it, and now all I gotta do is push the crankshaft back and it gets to like 5, maybe 6,000 of an inch. And if I go to the other way, same thing, about 5 to 6,000 of an inch. So that's really what we want. This thing fell off. One last thing that you want to do, make sure everything is correct. You just spin it. It's supposed to spin freely, smooth. Alright guys, so I'm super excited because that's step one. I finally put the crankshaft back. Everything is on specs. So this is it. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, or if you like this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give me a like. That will help my channel. It will help me make more videos just like these, and it will definitely help my drift car. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.